Today, I've got someone with me who really needs no introduction. If you're anywhere near the world of functional or precision medicine, James Maskell. James is the founder of the Functional Forum. He's also authored The Community Cure, Transforming Health Outcomes Together, and also The Evolution of Medicine. But more than that, James is a true visionary. He's leading the charge to fix what's broken in healthcare. So for over a decade, James has been bringing practitioners together and challenging the outdated sick care model by helping build a brand new science-driven approach to reversing chronic illness and transforming lives. And today, James and I are going to dive into an exciting new brain health model of care being launched at the Institute for Functional Medicine annual conference this year in San Diego. And so whether you're a healthcare provider or you're someone who's passionate about longevity and brain performance, you're going to want to listen in to this podcast today. This conversation could absolutely change the way you think about healing. There we go. Well, hey, James, how you doing?
Great to be here with you, Dory. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Oh my goodness. I am so excited about the Brain Symposium coming up at the beginning of the IFM conference this year. So please tell us all about it.
Yeah, so since actually the last time that the IFM conference was in San Diego, I had a little get together on the Wednesday night before the conference with some friends. And that actually led to me having the sort of official pre-party of the IFM annual conference ever since then. And so, that's typically been on the Wednesday night before the event. But just with some of the work that we're doing this year and the goal that we have to really transform brain health and see functional medicine fulfill its potential in brain health, we're actually putting on an afternoon event. It's called Launch the Brain Health Membership of Tomorrow today. And part of that is because there are so many interesting technologies that are sort of converging at this moment where it is possible today for any functional medicine clinic or any clinic that is interested in looking at precision and functional medicine to launch a very specific brain health program. And I think, 10 years ago when we started the evolution of medicine, there was a lot of like very disparate small technologies that you had to sort of cobble together to make any practice. And the exciting thing is now we sort of feel like it's almost like a practice in a box, not just the technology stack, but also the support services to help any clinic grow and thrive.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. I am especially interested in this because of my own daughter's accident that she had, and she had to have her face completely reconstructed, and she's missing part of her brain. And it's solely because of precision medicine and some of the new technologies and some of the new protocols that we can use that has really helped her in a phenomenal way. It just really does feel like a miracle. So I am super excited about this event. So tell us, when is the event again?
Yes, the event is Wednesday, the 28th of May. It's going to be actually in San Diego. The annual conference is at the Manchester Hyatt. And so it's walking distance from there. And yeah, from 12 till 4, we're going to run a 4-hour event. Now, essentially, if you come to the event in San Diego, you're really kind of in the studio audience because the real audience is thousands and thousands of practitioners from all around the world. Earlier in the month of May, we will be doing this Reversing Alzheimer's Summit that Dr. Burke and I have recorded along with Dr. Robert Love, who you might know from Instagram. He has a couple million followers. And, in that summit, we're going to be sharing some of the cutting edge information about neurocognitive decline, looking at Alzheimer's and different forms of dementia, and how our medicine, this medicine is proving to be really effective at not just slowing the rate of decay, but also to actually bring brain health back. And that's new. That doesn't happen. No drugs can do that. So it's like a very exciting moment in our history. But also we realized that like even though that science has been around for a few years, the capacity of the whole network of practices is still very low. Right. Like many millions of people have read books like Dr. Dale Bredesen, The End of Alzheimer's, and they know that it's possible, but access to it is actually very limited. And that's because Few clinics have taken it on. Those that have taken it on have discovered that it's quite complex and it's not for newbie functional medicine practitioners. Up until now, you really had to, learn and go to extra education for it. And part of what we're showing on that day is some of the technological advancements that are making it a lot easier for almost any practitioner trained in the basics of functional medicine to be able to, run a protocol and to use the software in such a way that you're getting AI supported decision support for clinicians. So to really understand what is driving the cognitive decline in this patient, what combination of what underlying causes is driving it uniquely to this patient. And then there's also going to be some innovation in how to detect functional brain changes. And so we've got a partner called ViewMind, who has a software through Oculus VR goggles. It tracks the eye movements and can, sort of deduce brain function from there. We also have a couple of companies that are in the business of helping practitioners build new programs and sort of coaching to support building new membership programs or otherwise. We've got support on how to acquire customers, right? How do you actually go out into the community and acquire 10, 15, 20 customers per month for your new program? We've got that covered. And then lastly, the technology stack has always been the biggest issue. And we'll be unveiling a technology stack there where the most popular functional medicine electronic health record and this new software called True Neuro, which organizes and categorizes lab data and supports patients in doing the healthy things that they need to do, is all coming together into, one stack. And so, even if you don't use those technologies today, it's much easier to sort of launch a new program for a new niche in your market. And we're going to showcase just how easy that is today.
Wow. So, as usual, you've put it all together for us and just made it a lot easier for us. Thank you.
Well, just to that point, I think if you look back from 2014 to 2019, the goal with the Functional Forum was really just to make it easier for clinicians to learn about functional medicine, right? When we came along, there really wasn't any free education online. You just had to go to a conference and learn, right? So one, that, and then two, connect practitioners together into communities so that they can reinforce that, oh, I'm seeing the same thing that you're seeing, and I'm not crazy for thinking this kind of issue is reversible. And so that was really, the first phase. And then third is to get people into what we called a functional micro practice. And essentially that was the goal at the beginning. Now we're coming back, for the next iteration where it's like, let's now network all of those individual clinics together. Let's track outcomes across the network. And then let's take these outcomes to the rest of medicine with a capacity so that ultimately we can do this at meaningful scale. And I know, many of us who are involved in this, yourself and myself, have powerful stories of family members or otherwise why we do this every day. And ultimately, I think if we can come together, we can really shift the conversation and the care delivery around complex chronic illness.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's bringing the practitioners together, but right now with everything going on with the Make America Healthy Again movement, I mean, the general public, their eyes are being opened now to what is actually possible with the latest science. And it's such an exciting time. And I'm blessed to be a part of this. And as you know, I'm alive today because of your work and the work of Jeff Bland and, all of the great practitioners out there. I wouldn't have my calling or even be alive today
Right.
doing this work if it weren't for, standing on your shoulders. So I just thank you for everything
Oh,
that you do.
well, Dory, thank you. I think that those practitioners who put their hand up in the last era to say, hey, I'm ready to like lead a local community, the impact on that is, valuable maybe for your business, but really it's like this relationship capital that you build, right? Where you now know, in the case of your daughter, for instance, who are the people locally who can help out with this. And, what I've found having done this sort of around the world through the Functional Forum effort is there's no more valuable human capital to have developed, like relationship capital to develop, because not even just for me, but now I have friends who say, hey, I'm in this area, which doctor shall I see? And the fact that I just know, who to recommend is just a gift that is amazing to give.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just a huge calling, right? It's just the beautiful thing of people helping people, and, people being able to up level into using the latest science instead of just depending on big pharma.
Absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think you're right. I think there is that finally we have some support from the top down. This has always been a grassroots movement, but I think now that we have some support from the top down, it's accelerating very quickly. And if you look at some of the goals for Maha, it's really to build a nationwide network of practitioners that put lifestyle in front of drugs. And
Yeah.
ultimately, like, I've been doing that for 10 years, and I think that it's exciting that this might really accelerate things.
Right. And root cause above,
Yeah.
right? Just management. So it's yeah, very, very, very exciting. So I'm blessed to be a part of this. So
Yeah.
thanks very, very much.
So we hope everyone can join us. I mean, there will be a live stream option for the day event. So from 12 till 4, we're doing the 4-hour workshop. So that's really, especially for clinics and practitioners who could see themselves launching a new brain health program. We're going to go over the business model. We're going to go over the clinical model. You're going to see some things that you've never seen before in functional medicine.
Fun.
Let me just give you an example. Imagine instead of having to look at 15 PDFs either in front of you or on 15 different tabs for each patient, imagine if all of that data was scored, organized, and added together in such way that you could certainly straight away see what are the most concerning lab markers across all the data that I have, and what are the general trends, like what is driving the pathology in this person.
Right.
And that is a exponential decrease in the complexity of doing the medicine, because ultimately you are being supported in that way. So I'd love for people to see that, and that's really what that part of it's for. So come 12 till 4. If you want to meet with some of the experts at that time, you can. We have a moment between 4 and 7. That's when the IFM initial session is, and so we'll take a little bit of a break, and then in the evening we'll have lots of people who are in town for the IFM annual conference. It'll be a bit more of a party atmosphere, but you'll still be able to learn from some of those vendors. You'll be able to try out the headset. We hope to have
Fun.
some practitioners. I've met recently a guy who's trained practitioners to do a certain type form of, let's say, massage / cranial work that is designed to increase the cerebral spinal fluid flow. So there's some very interesting stuff to check out. Plus, you'll be able to see what we've been covering over the day, and get excited about it. And our hope is that within a year, we have a very powerful network. I mean, if you think between 2014 and 2020, if we put a functional medicine clinic in every zip code, which I think we did, now it's like, could we have a brain health center in every zip code too? And the real reason why I think this is important is that if you look back at all of the environmental insults of the last 10 years. So, environmental toxins, biotoxins, but also loneliness and fear, and, the downside risk of, of the COVID vaccinations. All of those things, the downside risk is all about brain risk. And it all affects the brain, and that's why you're seeing 30, 40, 50-year-olds coming down with symptoms that only used to happen to 60, 70, 80-year-olds. And so I believe that we are right over the target here for solving what is clearly maybe the biggest issue in society. So come down, meet the people, connect, and learn about this movement to build capacity for brain health recovery and chronic disease reversal.
Absolutely. Wow. So as a practitioner, I am geeking out on this. I can't wait. This is going to be an exciting event, and thanks for putting it on for us. I can't wait.
We're excited. So yeah, I'll give you all the details there. If you use the code Dory25, you can get 25% off the 2 different tickets. There's one ticket that's just for the evening event. There's one ticket that's for the whole day. And, we'd love to see you, and we'd love to connect, and look forward to being back in San Diego.
Okay. All right, James. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dory.
Wow. Wasn't that amazing? Look, I cannot wait to be there at the IFM meeting this year in San Diego and be a part of the networking and the unveiling of this new brain health model of care. So exciting. Now, if you are a practitioner in the San Diego area and you would like to get your tickets at a discount, just use the code Dory25. I'll put all the information in the description below, and you're going to want to get those tickets right away because there are a limited number of seats. And when they run out, folks, they run out. And remember that this is a practitioner only event. But if you're interested in working on your health and especially working on your brain health, just give us a call here at the Cellular Healing and Longevity Center here in San Diego. Our number is 760-460-4349, and we'll be happy to answer all of your questions. All right, we will see you at that conference. Bye-bye.